side, I lose my internal rotation. You see how much better my left is than my right. So you can't see your hip sockets and you can't see your hips, and all that stuff is just jamming. If this is your if this is your pelvis, your tailbone kind of comes down like a triangle. It jams right into those things. But what happens, too much backswing, or sticking our butt out on our kicking side, that repetitive motion, it's gonna loosen up on the right side, it's gonna loosen up, but on the left side, it's just jamming right in there. And because that SI joint gets so jammed, the SI joint's the little ligament between your tailbone and your hips. So this part of your hip is right here that you can feel. It just gets jammed in there and turned, and that's why we just can't get stuck and we lose our external rotation. So with that being said, I'm going to show you something else in a second, but I just want to let you know two other factors. You guys have been punting in Aussie rules for forever, and so your body gets used to punting, but the ground shows no mercy. There's nothing healthy about kicking a ball off the ground a gazillion times as high and far as you can. That's why guys have so many injuries in kicking. That's why I'm so protective of young guys going off the ground too early. So there's two factors. I've made some posts about this. One, your sacrum, your tailbone, doesn't fuse completely until you're 18. That's a lot. The other thing is your hip flexors. Even if you're a pro soccer player at 20, your hip flexors don't fully mature until you're 20 years old. So I think you're younger than most of the other guys who are just punting. Kicking is much more dangerous because we're doing it with one side and we have to go get it off the ground. So the first thing that goes is our hip, because our hips are unstable the younger we are. So we got to be super careful, and I'll show you just some little tips about the one and no step, what we're looking out for with bigger bodies. Because a whole point of this thing, we're trying to make you the perfect athletic version of yourself. So we want you to grow proportionally strong. But if the hips don't start out in the right spot, it's going to take much longer for the rib to hip separation in the upper body to connect to the lower body, okay?